Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. We're going to start out this week's What's for Dinner with homemade beef stew and semi-homemade biscuits. Welcome to my southern farming kitchen. Alright, so I'm going to start out my beef stew with some plain, woo, it's puffy, some plain all-purpose flour. I got like a cloud going in here. And I'm going to put some pepper, as little as much as you like. Remember, it's a big pot of stew, so I'm going to put quite a bit of pepper in there. And salt, about a tablespoon. I'm just going to give it a fluff with my hand, just like that. And I'm going to put my stew meat in there. Just kind of break it apart. Make sure it's all floured up pretty and good. A good little coating. I got about 2 pounds here because these people that I call family and I let live here like a lot of, meat in their stew, and that's fine. I do too. So I'm gonna get it all in here and get it coated. Normally, now if you've got like a regular size Dutch oven or something like that, you would fry this in batches, but I have my grandmother's, and I'm not sure how old that thing is, but it's older than I am, and I'm 45 years old. And it will hold all of this meat without crowding it too much. Make sure I get it all. I'm just going to stir it around. I got flour everywhere, but that's okay, because I'm really cooking. Let's put this here. Alright, now we'll take it over to the stove, get it fried up a little bit, and then add the rest of the stuff in there that makes it good. The thing about beef stew like this, is because it cooks low and slow all day, and that's what makes it so good to me. Alright, so I got canola oil in the bottom of my big Dutch oven. I got flour all over me. So I'll put a couple pieces in, and as soon as it starts to sizzle, I'll add the rest of it. So it's starting to brown up pretty good. I got all that flavor there stuck on the bottom of the pan. We'll get that up in a minute. Got some pretty good color to it. Now I'm going to add beef broth. You can use water, but really use the beef broth because it just drives home that flavor. And here we go. So I'm going to add just a little bit. I'm going to come in and kind of scrape that bottom and get all that yummy, yummy goodness off. You got to have that yummy goodness that's on the bottom. And you can see with that flour that it's already trying to thicken up. We're going to stop that too here in just a second. So we're going to add quite a bit more beef broth. Alright, so I added the whole carton, which is just a standard carton of beef broth. And I've got an extra one over here to the side. I'll probably end up using about half of that as well, but not yet. So I've turned my heat down to medium-high. I'm going to let this sit, and I'm going to get my onions, my potatoes, and my carrots, and all the yummy goodness that goes in there with it. so I'm going to add a pack of beef stew seasoning mix because you just can't replicate those flavors. No matter how hard you try, it's just got a really good seasoning to it. So, in it goes. This last step is a little bit unusual. You're gonna probably go, Kat, what are you doing? But I'm adding 1 can, diced tomatoes. Just the petite diced. They're gonna cook down to, you know, almost nothing as this cooks throughout the day. But it just adds a little something to the flavor. I'm not sure how to describe it. If you want to add bigger tomatoes, you certainly can. But I add the petite dice because they're already so small that they cook down and they just become part of the stew itself, the broth, so to speak. Alright, so tonight I just stuck with my roots and we're having lima beans with crumbled bacon and some homemade cornbread. I'm going to show you how I put it together right now. Your sausage is about done, you're going to come in with a tablespoon and about 1/2 of all-purpose flour. You're going to leave the grease right in the sausage, and we're going to stir it around. And it's going to start to get thick on you. Whoop, we're steaming because we're really cooking. So we're going to get that stirred in. It's going to start to get thick almost immediately. You're going to see it start to stick on the bottom of your pan. That's fine. No worries. I hear the TV in the background. Life is happening all around me. And I love it. Alright. Stirring that in. Alright. Now we're going to come in with some 1/2 and 1/2. I'd say that's just a little over a cup. And we're going to stir it good and let it get thick again. So as it starts to get thick again, you're going to come back in and you're going to add some more 1/2 and 1/2. Now you can use milk. I wouldn't use heavy cream because heavy cream will make it get really thick. But you can come back in with milk to thin it out, or you can continue to use half and half. It's all up to you. And just get it to the consistency that you like. It's hard for me to say a cup or 3/4 of a cup, or because it's entirely up to the individual. You can use, you know, however thick or thin you want it. I'm going to come back in with just a little bit more because it will continue to thicken as it sits. And I'd say that's just about the way I want it. All right, so I'm just going to add some black pepper. That's to taste. I would wait to taste it before you add any salt to it because you don't know how salty that sausage is. And that's done. Now I'm going to show you how to make my grits. That looks so good. Alright, so I got 2 cups of water in a pot. I'm going to add a little salt to taste. And then I do use the quick grits. I don't use instant, but I use the quick. I don't like instant grits. I think they're, well, gritty. So I'm going to add roughly a cup. Sorry, I do eyeball it. I've been making grits since I was 14, y'all. So, about a cup. And I'm just going to get them stirred in. And let it slowly come up to temperature. So I've got it on about medium heat. And I'm going to let it come up and thicken. And it's pretty easy. Alright, I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of unsalted butter. Let that melt throughout. Now the key to perfect grits is don't stop stirring. Like ever. Just keep right on stirring. And you'll feel them getting thicker and thicker and thicker. And that's what you want. But I stir them the entire time that I'm cooking. I think that's what makes them so good. Also, just, you know, I don't know, some people are not familiar with cooking grits. It is traditionally a southern thing, but you can get them all over the country. I mean, we don't own the patent on grits, but they get thick, they pop, they burn. So be careful. They will stick to your skin just like sugar. Because that's basically what it is a big old bowl of hot sugar. So be careful when you're cooking them. And it's starting to get pretty thick on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to add, see, it's starting to pop. I'm going to add some half and half. Just a few tablespoons. Just makes them a little bit creamier. That is an option. You don't have to do that, but I do it every time. So, alright, these are done. I'm going to turn the heat off and remove them, and then show you how I put all this together. You can make your own biscuits, or like these are Pillsbury frozen. But I do have a recipe for homemade buttermilk biscuits, and I'll link that down below. You just break that right on top. Add your sausage gravy. Alright, so just a little bit of green onion, kind of makes it festive looking. And that's it. My sausage gravy grit bowl.